I take it off.
Yeah, listen.
Welcome back, guys. Off the Mat Podcast with Brian and
Keith McMillan, what's going on?
apparently there's a virus out there.
Man, and let me tell you, that shit has been affecting life.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to say congratulations, everyone that made it through. Hopefully, we're at the end of this storm. I know there's a lot of rebuilding and processing going on, but all the essential workers and first responders, man, I'm happy. If you're happy, I'm happy if you're happy.
Okay. Right on. Yeah, it's a weird situation, right?
Yeah.
This is like I was thinking about it the other day. This is gonna rank up there with like 9/11 of like things we'll never forget.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you'll remember this entire period.
Yeah, I've been seeing some of those memes where like the old man recapping to his grandchildren.
Oh yeah. What was
like,
it? What did it say?
It was just like back in
We
2020.
ran out of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, it got stupid quick, dude. That was like one of the craziest things like about this whole I think this whole coronavirus is it's like we're going to learn a lot about ourselves, especially like in today's day and age and like how we react to things. And I don't know, it was interesting. I felt it was like now I feel like kind of like leveled out as far as like how I feel about the whole coronavirus, and everybody feels differently. You know, some people are taking all the measures they need to in order to keep themselves safe, which, I mean, we don't have all the information, so by all means do whatever you feel you need to do. And then there's others that are just like, fuck it, let's go to the beach and play beer pong. That's your neck of the woods. They don't give a shit.
Shout out to Florida.
Yeah.
Always
Not
representing.
giving a motherfucker.
Always representing.
Not giving a shit.
It's scary. I think for the kids, for the youth, and when I say kids, I mean from like 18 to 20, mid to late 20s. People didn't give a fuck, and it wasn't really hitting them that hard. So they kind of had that we're immortal, like it's not really affecting us. But at least from 30 and up, you know, especially I was handling a lot of phone calls for my job and everything. I mean, it's devastating, and it's running rampant through certain areas, and it's scary, and people lost lives, and no matter what side you're on, how serious or unconcerned you were, it's a real tragedy for all the families in the world that lost someone dear to them that should have had more time on this earth, and unfortunately this pandemic happened, and they weren't able to survive, and it's devastating, and my heart goes out to them. And it's a serious situation, and I don't want to get into like the politics of it.
Well, you kind of started. It sounds like you started going with your opinion there, bud.
Yeah, I don't want to go too far, but
started going down that road, so you're already on it.
But you know, my family, majority of them are in the medical field, so there's a different perspective.
Nurses,
you know.
And then your brother's a respiratory
therapist. Yep. You know, my sister's a nurse. I think she works in a nursing home. You know, I know registered nurses. So in the medical field, you know, they have a different point of view. It's such a bad analogy, but it's kind of like people that don't know how to fight, and they watch other people fight and they go, I'd whip his ass. Or how come he's not doing this and that?
I don't get it. How do you relate that with doctors, though?
Well, I'm saying they have a different point of view. They're in the thick of things. They know what it's like going on.
I see what you're saying. I know what you mean.
You know, from other people that aren't affected or don't have people in the medical field.
Or like, that are watching like an MMA fight and like, I just get up. You know, that sort of shit. Yeah, I got you.
I just take some Tylenol and you'll be fine. You know.
I got you.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I meant more so in the sense it was just weird of like how much of a roller coaster it's been. Because I don't know about you, but my opinion and my feelings towards the entire situation changed like every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like 1 minute I was freaking the fuck out. Next minute I didn't give a shit. And it was just a very back and forth thing. And it was a lot of it for me was just based off like shit that I was hearing from social media. Hence why I ended up deleting my Facebook a while back, which is one of the greatest things ever. That's you, bud.
Sorry, bud.
And Yeah, deleting that social media was awesome for me, or Facebook, I should say.
Yeah.
I think that was a big part of keeping me chill during this whole time. But yeah, it's been weird, and I think that I don't know. I think we should really look at the way that people reacted to the things.
Yeah.
Like once everything's said and done, 5-10 years down the road, once fingers crossed, everything's taken care of, everything's calmed down, look back and take a look at it and be like, all right, let's say this shit happens again.
Right. What can we do?
What do we do differently?
Right.
Because let's be real, there are a lot of things, and not necessarily where we're at, but there's a lot of different places and that I don't know might not be handling it correctly, either going too far or not far enough as far as precautions.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to the future. Really hoping a lot of these entrepreneurs get back to business and their business holds up, and hopefully they survived. And whatever we can do to keep moving forward and help each other out, support your local businesses.
Yeah, the economy's gonna be messy, dude.
Yeah,
it's gonna be super messy.
You got to play some games and stuff. How's that life for you?
Yeah, it was shitty.
Oh.
It was cool for a week or two, and then like after a week or two, I was right there with everybody else in quarantine. I mean, there's only so much you can do, I mean, what do you do at that point?
Right.
I'm just doing the same shit. So, yeah, quarantine was shitty, dude. I don't want to do it again.
No
more. One thing I noticed a lot is my temper was short as fuck, and I would get pissed at little things. And I think a lot of that was just from not doing like jujitsu and not exercising, as much as I should. Do you have the same thing?
Man, it's a necessity,
bro. I was going off on motherfuckers for stupid shit, like shit that didn't even make sense.
It is a necessity for all the jiu-jitsu players and MMA fighters and everything. It's a necessity that those, especially the higher level, have a way to fucking empty their gas tank of hatred.
Yo, I'm telling you, my head was like turning around like The Exorcist until I started rolling again. So thank God for that. Now I feel much more mellowed out now,
It was bittersweet to say, but it's cool seeing everyone like not cool. I don't want to say it's cool, but it was like seeing all the elite jiu-jitsu players and everyone just come back athletes and everything on the same playing field cardio wise is fascinating to me.
Oh, I threw up the first day back. Yeah, first day back I threw up. So we did. Were you were here? Or no, that you weren't here for that.
No,
when we did that little coaches rolling.
No, it wasn't.
Sunday before we opened the gym. Yeah, I threw up.
Yeah.
All we did was just roll for an hour, and then after that, I was like, all right, I'm done.
It's nice seeing, that's where your mental toughness comes in. Because before everything happened, everyone's cardio, especially the higher belts, were kicking ass and everything. And now they come back and it's day one all over again.
To an extent, though, I mean, as long as you're still it's just the exercise piece of things, the energy you're exerting,
Well, I mean, higher belts with techniques and everything.
Yeah.
You can get
if you got technique, then there's a lot of situations and positions where you're gonna be all right.
But
like whenever I got really tired, I'm like, I'm going to a half guard lockdown, and we're gonna hang out here for a little bit.
There's little tricks.
I need a second.
Little tricks you can get away with. But no, it's nice.
How was it for you going back to rolling and everything? Did you throw up? How many times?
I didn't throw up, but there was definitely like a noticeable, like by the second round, I was taking deep breaths and trying to mentally stay, stable, trying to focus on. It was honestly, it was like white belt all over again, just surviving.
Yeah.
So it was. I'm happy to be back. But now it's like, okay, this is my time. I work on technique. Out off the mats, I'll be able to like work on cardio and building everything back up. But on the mat, this is really time to, not like I was super athletic, but to rely on like technique and make.
Yeah, but you work on your cardio and jiu-jitsu though too. Like whenever you do
definitely
live rounds that you're working on your cardio. So,
but that's not the time for me to empty the gas tank. And going with certain people.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather.
I think it depends on the role. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's what with certain
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
With certain people. But you can get away with a lot. But yeah, no, it's good being back. I'm great. How can I say this? It's everything I needed, everything I wanted. Being back here, being back on the mats, having the teammates to support, and just getting back at it. It feels good again.
Honestly, you know what is hilarious about this whole like, and I shouldn't say hilarious. That's a bad word to use, but from my perspective, that is ironic is probably a better word to use. This whole like opening things up in stages and phases and whatnot that they're doing in Kansas City, and we were able to open up, with phase 1 with where we were at in Gladstone. So
Right.
we were able to open up immediately. And once we opened up, for me, my life went right back to normal. Like that's all I do in my regular life is go home and go to the gym. I don't
Right.
go anywhere else and do anything extra. So for me, it was like, everything was right back to normal.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm just excited for the future, for things to slowly get back going on pace and people financially catching up
Yeah.
and people going back to work. It was nice seeing people that like couldn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like at least where I was at, there was a lot of families spending time like, together, and there were like kids playing outside. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was cool to see, because you don't see it a lot anymore, especially in this day and age with technology.
It was nice at first for me too. Like I was at the point, your boy needed a vacation.
Yeah.
I was like at that point where I was about to be like, yo, I need a week or two off anyways.
Yeah.
So like the quarantine actually happened at a decent time for me as far as like that goes. I didn't want it to last as long as it did, obviously.
No,
but,
definitely not.
I don't know. I got a lot of realizations in the quarantine too. Like one of the major ones too is like how much spending I do on like a regular basis, like whenever I'm out and about, versus whenever I was forced to stay home for 24 hours a day. It was just an insane difference, It's just like as far as like how much I'll eat out for convenience sake, just because of like, fuck, if I go home, make whatever, yada yada yada, and then it takes up X amount of time, then I'm done for the day, whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
So, like that was a huge realization for me during this whole quarantine. I don't know if you've had any realizations about yourself or anything like that.
I wrote a lot more. There's new hobbies I want to look into, and there's a big Hail Mary pass I'm thinking about throwing to myself.
You're throwing a pass to yourself?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
It's taking a leap of faith.
You
Throwing
throw
that ball
it straight up in the air,
Don't
let it hit you in the head.
Hopefully catching it. But
What's that? What's your Hail Mary pass? Play lotto?
hell no. Hell no. My mother still plays lotto. Lotto's one of those things. My mother's been playing. I've been on this earth for.
If you play lotto, just send me your money.
You ever won?
What do you mean? Have I ever won?
Not the big, but you ever won like $5, $10?
Oh well, yeah, like on scratch offs.
Yeah, there's a little like rush to it. It's a little adrenaline.
Yeah.
I won.
Till you start doing math.
Yeah,
Math will stop that shit real quick, bro. If you fucking think about it logically and start adding up the numbers and subtracting and adding and subtracting, you're gonna get a big old negative number in the long run.
It wasn't that bad of a habit, cause I did win big, $500 one time.
Yeah.
But I used to buy the $20, $30 scratch off tickets.
So you were one of those guys.
No, I didn't do it a long time. Because I did the math. I spent $300 up to that point, and I would win like $10, $20 here. I would even out most of the time.
So you were trying to like figure out the system. You're like, I'm gonna get rich off of fucking scratchers.
Well, this guy, no, hell no, that was never the big goal. It'd be cool.
You saw 21, and you're like, I'm gonna do that, but with scratchers.
I don't think I ever want to win big money like that.
Scratchers. So I worked at. Have you ever worked at a gas station?
Mm-mm.
So I worked at a gas station for a little bit, and that was like, there's kind of a method to it, a little bit. Like there was sometimes you would be able to call like which ones are gonna hit and which ones are not gonna hit, just based off like how many losers you sold before that, and you would just assume that they were losers because they didn't come back in afterwards.
Right.
Because like typically when someone would come in and buy scratchers, they're gonna buy like 5 or 6. You're not gonna get unless you get the random Joe Schmo who's like, yeah, I need XYZ, and then he's like, let me get a $5 scratcher. You pick it. Then you'll get that guy.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, it's someone who consistently comes in, buys scratchers, buys a certain amount at a time, buys certain ones. They
Right.
spread it out. They got their own little fucked up system that they think is gonna hit. Go back to their car, scratch that shit off, bring the winners back, bring
Right.
that shit back again.
Repeat the cycle.
So yeah, it's typically the same thing. But like, whenever you see that so many times, you could typically call like which ones are gonna hit and which ones are not gonna hit, just based off how many losers you had back to back. So if I had Joe Schmo come in, buy fucking 4 of these $5 scratchers, and then he drove off afterwards, I'm assuming they were all losers. So the next guy comes in, I'm like, hey, this one's probably about to hit soon.
Oh, you were helping out.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh, that's
fuck
thoughtful.
yeah! That's not my money.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm going to help them out for sure. So yeah, I would help. I mean, I don't know if it helped. Again, this is like me assuming that I had a system. There's no, I don't know. I can't say for certain, but from what I saw, you could kind of be able to tell just based off how many losers you had like back to back to back. You'd be like, there's 7 losers here, bound to be a winner.
Well,
And when there's a winner, there's always like 2 or 3 winners. There's like 2 or 3 winners back to back, and then fucking lose city.
what's the most you've seen someone win? Because after a while,
just 100. Nothing crazy.
Because after a while, they can't come to you. They have to like redeem it.
Yeah, it's like once they, I think.
That's be 1,000. I think.
Well, it's a certain. Once it gets to 1,000, I think the vendor has the option of if they want to swap it out or not. Because most places don't have that kind of money on hand where they can be like, here's $1,000,
Right.
and we're still going to be able to run our business. That's typically not going to happen. But like at $1,000, they have the option to, and then it goes up to 10,000, I think. And then once 10,000, then you have to go to the capital of whatever state you're in.
Okay.
Or send it in, or however. I would drive there. If it's over 10,000, I'm driving, bitch.
Oh yeah. Well, there was a guy I used to work with that was a manager at Hy-Vee, and I told him I was playing scratchers, and I was only buying like the $1 ones or
Yeah.
$2 ones, $5 ones, nothing big. And he was like, "You need to play the $30 ones, like the $20, $30. That's where the money is." And mind you, he's not the best guy to take advice from.
Yeah, he sounds like a degenerate.
But he wasn't wrong though, because within like, I think by the time I got $300 on spending my scratchers, I won $500. So every now and then I win like $50, $40. A lot of times I win $40.
Yeah.
I'm spending $30, so I'm only winning $10.
Right.
But yeah, I won $500, and then after that I stopped.
Okay, so over the course of how long did you
Probably 3 weeks.
would just play at like random times?
I'd do it every Sunday. So for Sundays, so for 3 Sundays.
So wait, that's $500 after the amount that you spent?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, you went to the same spot?
I'd go to the same machine, pull out the $30 scratcher. I'd spend $50.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So.
Maybe you figured it out. Maybe you should do
Hell
that
no.
again.
No,
yeah,
I'm good.
do it again, bro.
Not
It
this-
worked.
no,
It worked. What do you mean? You figured it out. That's
Because
the
if I
system.
win and then
No, you got to figure
I get
it
a
out.
lot of money, then you're going to be like, well, hey, man, you owe me some because I gave you the
Oh.
idea.
Well, now I have your secret.
Yeah.
You just told it to the world. We know now.
Well, you have to have my luck, too.
Dude, gambling will get a fucking hold on you like that.
Yeah.
That shit'll grab you by the ball. My uncle's one of those guys where he can't walk into a gas station without buying a scratcher.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he has to. Like you open up his fucking door panel and he's the little pocket in your door panel, all scratchers.
I'm not going to lie to you. This conversation makes me want to go buy a scratcher.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't make me want to buy a scratcher.
Fucking fiending, bro. I'm like, man.
Only time I went scratchers is like around Christmas time, because my aunt didn't know what the fuck to get me for Christmas, so she bought me a roll of scratchers on the way. That's the only time I really care for them. Then I'm like, oh, this is a cool little situation, but it never works.
I would like to see the person that, like, makes the scratchers and how many are winners. Like, it must be like 1 out of fucking 2,000 or something.
Dude, you know what? I told you about the fucking I definitely told you about it. The McMillions documentary.
Yeah.
After watching that and like seeing like how much went into like how they made the pieces, because they would make like the Monopoly pieces with like errors So if it was a winner, it would have like an error on it on purpose, so they could be like,
Right.
so if someone brought in a piece and they were like, I got a winner and it was perfect, they'd be like, no, you don't. That's not a winner, you dumbass. So I wonder if that's like a thing with like lottery tickets, you know? I bet it is. I bet that's like a legit thing with like scratchers. There's probably like some sort of like, I don't know. Maybe not. They can't like signify it, but I don't know.
I know the number one. I mean, they're all numbers, but the number ones is like when you scratch your winning numbers,
Yeah.
you always get every number around it, and I hate that shit.
Yeah.
So if it's like 5, 10,
Oh, well, that's on
15,
purpose,
you
bro.
know,
Fuck
you always
yeah.
get 14 and 13.
Like, oh, you're so close.
Yeah.
We'll do it again. Maybe
Do it
that's
again.
what. Yeah.
I don't want to win that much money though. I'll be afraid.
What do you think the value of a roll of scratchers is? Like, how much profit do you think is in a roll of scratchers? On average. Because I think 300 come in a roll is what it is. I think that's what it is.
Oh.
So it's a roll of 300 scratchers like this. You set it in the thing, and then you could just pull them out one
Okay.
at a time and rip them off. So
Not a lot.
you don't think much profit is in there?
For on the
No. I'm saying for the lottery.
Oh, for them.
people.
Oh yeah, a lot.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
think you're saying for like if I bought it 300.
No. So I'm saying like $500 or $5 scratchers, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 300 of them. So what? You got $1,500 worth of scratchers.
Yeah.
How much money are they making off of those?
Tons. They're tripling their money.
I'd say at least.
Yeah, they're tripling their money.
At least
Yeah.
tripling. At least.
It's a big business, man.
For sure. But that's the average, though, because sometimes you're going to get the ones that are like the fucking $1,000 winners, and that's going to debunk that whole system for that one roll. But yeah.
See, I was smart. Like when I won the $500, I paid bills.
You know, you know what's hilarious? I just remember this now. We did a mini society in elementary school in 6th grade, and for my business, we ran a casino and did a lottery. Is that fucked up? They let us do it.
In what grade?
6th.
God damn.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't know what to do. So this is what we did. We started off because everybody was supposed to either make like a product or provide a service is what it was. You were doing a mini society, right? So we all, like as a class, it was 4 6th grade classes. So all 4 6th grade classes got together. We decided what our currency would be. So the denomination. So for some reason, some asshole threw a $3 bill in there. That was fucking dumb. But that was in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, and we all had like our individual like cities essentially. So each classroom was their individual cities, and then past that, you would get in like groups of like 3 or 4, and you would have to come up with your own business / where you're selling a product or selling a service, something like that. And we made a casino.
Nice.
Yep. And I was the treasurer, and I was stealing money like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was robbing it.
Why wouldn't
Blind.
you? Why wouldn't you?
Blind. Damn.
Yeah.
Thinking back on it, I was pretty fucked up.
Maybe you found your next job, man. Maybe you should be.
I should be the treasurer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start working for a casino.
Go up to Harrah's.
Yeah. I rigged the lottery though. We didn't think it through. Well, I didn't rig it. We didn't think it through. I fucked it up is what happened. So we like made X amount of lottery tickets and we didn't sell them all.
Yeah.
So like whenever we were going to drawing, there was a chance that we were going to draw a loser or draw one that no one bought.
Right.
You know? So I was just like, I just said one that I knew for sure someone bought. It was a teacher's. Like I knew Mr. Highland bought a ticket, so I pulled a ticket and just read it. Because I knew for sure that we would get a winner. So I rigged it, but it went to a teacher, so it was like, whatever.
Yeah, I was fucking doing business in 6th grade.
Yeah, we were hustling. But yeah, we started off, our idea was we were going to make stress balls, like with balloons, put sand in them. We started doing that. That shit didn't go well. So we were like, fuck that, let's play blackjack. I can't believe the teachers allowed this, looking back on it right now.
It was a different
Like,
time.
I really cannot believe that the teachers allowed it.
It was a different time, man.
I guess, it is kind of like in regular society, there's casinos. So I guess that makes sense. But yeah.
God. Great times.
Yep. Shout out to fucking Tony and Hollis. Man, those are my guys.
Isn't it weird how you can remember certain names like that?
Oh, well, that was like my crew of guys that I grew
Yeah.
up with. I told you about them, how we had like one guy that was mixed, one guy that was Asian, one dude that was black, and then a Mexican dude, and then me. It was like we had everything. So yeah, Tony was the Asian dude, House was the mixed guy. They were in my class, and We came up with the casino idea. We made the most. We won. We made the most money. We were the most profitable business.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
It sounds fun. I'm thinking about like I said, what a crazy like 6th grade you had. I'm thinking about what I was doing in 6th grade. It was nothing like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I think, like looking back at it, a lot of the stuff that we did in elementary school was pretty. But once we got past elementary school, like that's whenever, like shit got weird. That's
Okay.
when shit got. That's when it was just like motherfuckers were acting out. You know. That's when things weren't innocent anymore. You know. But like in elementary school, it was still innocent, so they let us, you know,
Yeah.
do cool things like mini society. And
We all
things
didn't know
like that.
better.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you let a couple of high schoolers do that. There's gonna be a whole fucking.
Well, that was the thing. Middle school, that's when they merged all the elementary schools
Yeah.
together. So that's when 4 different schools came together into one school.
Yikes! It's St. Louis.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right outside St. Louis. Yeah, Hazelwood. So yeah. Shout out Jana Elementary. That's the thing. Like, I want to ask you like what a Florida high school is like, but to you that's just normal. So you wouldn't be able to tell me like the weird shit that went on in a Florida.
Yeah, I don't know
Florida
what was
school
weird
system,
because
you know?
like that's the society I grew up in.
Right.
So like we had everything, and you gotta
Isn't
understand.
that crazy about things? Like you can look at something and be like, "That's weird as fuck," and then you'd be like, "Why?
Yeah, that's normal.
What do you mean?"
But see, you gotta understand. I went to high school like during like the Chappelle era. You know.
Okay.
So there was like a lot of like tension, but a lot of like
Why was there tension?
because all those sketches came out, and like his first episode was a white supremacist.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
He came in hot, dude. He was just like, "I'm giving 0 fucks."
But I'm in high school at the time. But I mean, it was funny, and it's universal, funny.
Yeah,
But then you had everyone quoting it,
yeah.
so it was like a weird time because
See, your school was weird, dude. Here's the thing. I feel like your school was the mixture of like both of the schools that I went to.
yeah,
Because I like started off in Hazelwood, and then I went to O'Fallon, and it was like 2 completely different schools, and it sounds like those schools were like mixed, and you were in that school.
well, it's like the only thing that brought people together, kids together, was sports, because everything else it was still segregated. Like the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans, the blacks, like everyone still hung out with their own little
Yeah.
crew, and then there was like a mixture of like theater nerds and stuff that were like all mixed, but the
But
weirdos.
your school was pretty diverse, though, yeah?
Yeah, but every crew still stuck to themselves.
Okay.
Like it was one of those schools. Like if you fucked with one Haitian, you fucked with every Haitian.
Yeah, well, I understand that. But I mean in the sense of like, you walk down the hallways, and it's a bunch of different people. It's
Yeah,
not like
students-wise.
Yeah.
Students wise, yes. Teachers, all white, majority.
Okay. That's an
So,
issue.
yeah, it was majority white teachers, and then you'd have a
Did
few.
you guys have a dunce cap?
No, was that a thing?
I don't know. We didn't have one.
Yeah,
I just figured you were in the South, so if anything, you guys would have some crazy shit like that. You guys have paddle? You guys paddle each other?
no, we didn't. It wasn't like no physical abuse or anything.
All right, Florida, you guys are fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, we do
You
things-
guys do whatever the fuck you want.
We do things at extreme.
You guys don't give a shit.
That's because we're a cesspool of like the drug addicts, and then there's like a lot of porn shot in Florida.
Yeah, and then people go there to retire, and
Yeah,
you just
they
don't
get
know how to feel.
Yeah, you never know. But I told you, it's like my neighborhood was like you go 2 blocks over and there's a bunch of Confederate flags and everything hanging.
And that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
it was like those 2 schools combined, because like that's what it was for me. Like in Hazelwood, it was like you wouldn't dare bring a Confederate flag in there.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding? You're not gonna make it out alive, dude. What are you talking about? And then you go to O'Fallon, and it's like you can literally count on one hand how many black kids there are,
Yeah,
and they stick out like sore thumbs because it's a sea of Whitey McWhiterson.
Yeah,
You know.
no, you're right
For real, and it sounded like you were in like the mix of the two, because it was like and I've said this before, that was like one of the most interesting culture shocks to me, is like hearing like white people in O'Fallon talk when black people aren't around.
Yeah.
And it's just like, bro, if my friends from Hazelwood were here right now, you would not be saying this shit. And if you were saying this shit, you'd be getting fucked up.
I mean, but that was the thing. It's like I have a different view because I wasn't black enough to like have all black friends, but I wasn't white enough to like if I was hanging around a bunch of white kids,
Yeah.
they still reminded me I was black. But then if I hung around a bunch of black kids,
Motherfuckers.
they'd be like, "Oh, you sound white" or whatever.
Did you ever get called an Uncle Tom?
Never.
Oh,
No,
okay.
'cause I wouldn't. Nah, because in high school I was weird, but I understood. Like I appreciated.
That's
my
disrespectful as
heritage. Yeah,
fuck.
that was like, yeah,
That would have been crossing the line.
yeah. I wouldn't have fought you because I wasn't a fighter.
No.
I'd be very mad at you.
Yeah. Let you know that I didn't like you.
Yeah, I'll see if I have any memories from Florida, and I'll come back with a story of something crazy in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys like carve your own shanks and shit?
No. When I went to high school, it was a school that opened up like 4 years before I went, so we were new. We were very
Okay.
new. So we sucked at everything, and we were just trying to like start.
Okay. Was it so? Since it was like a new school, you were familiar with everyone though, or was it like a?
Yeah, everyone from my junior high, we all went to the same high school.
Okay. All right.
But we all like separated. Like I said, I mean, my freshman year, I was hanging out with the wrong crowd, and I dropped out my freshman year.
Did you imagine if you were in school right now and all of this shit was going on
Oh, it'd be like fucking Christmas.
with Rona?
It'd
Yeah.
be Christmas. I would.
Well, for you Florida guys, because you guys don't give a shit,
Well, yeah, we didn't.
so you
give a
guys
shit.
would just go do whatever.
But see, I was a gamer,
Yeah.
so I would still be doing the same shit. I would
Yeah.
just have more. Like my mother just couldn't get mad at me.
Right.
But I mean, like, but we were at the beginning of the technology boom in the sense of like we were still like going outside to do shit.
Yeah.
So we would still ride our bikes to the park, play basketball for fucking 3 or 4 hours, play football, go outside. We had a hoop in front of the house. Like we were still outside doing outdoor activities.
Yeah.
And then I had a 360, an Xbox 360, so I would play games, and I just got online, and you know how good the internet was back then. You know what I mean?
Those 360 lobbies.
Yeah, but that would have been my life, was going outside playing basketball with my friends and everything, and then coming home playing 360.
Yeah.
Now it's like kids come outside. I'm sure that's foreign for them.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we?
I bet. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, could you imagine like only being allowed to hang out with like certain kids, things like that?
Yeah. Oh, right.
That's a real thing.
Right. No, you're right.
Be like, fuck, you don't want to hang. You don't hang out with that motherfucker regular. We don't know where he's been.
Right.
We're not hanging out with him. What are you
Right.
talking about? That'd be a real thing.
I was such a horny little toad when I was.
Whoa. Okay. Where
Hey.
did this come from, bro?
Let's go.
Yo.
Parental advisory from this point on.
Okay, we're in it.
No, I'm saying like as a teenager.
Okay.
So I don't know how I'd be fully like trying to occupy my time because text messaging didn't get big until like my junior year, which is weird to say aloud.
Yeah, text messaging was hot as fuck when I was in high
that's
school.
what I'm saying.
That was the shit.
I mean-
There was no passing notes anymore. Like, you were
Yeah.
texting motherfuckers 4 desks away from you.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we still had Messenger and all that stuff in MySpace, but I couldn't imagine what trying to like have a girlfriend or trying to get a girl.
Who's your top friends on MySpace?
I think I was a sucker. It was all my close friends,
Uh-huh.
and I like ranked them because it was like important that
Yeah.
this person knew they were number one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried to make it like my top 3, and then everything after my top 3, I was like, oh, I'll just put them in random order. But my top 3 were like always my closest, like whoever I spoke to on the regular.
Yeah.
So
That was like a very important thing for everybody.
very
Isn't that
important.
hilarious?
it is. It's sad.
Yeah. I feel fucking liberated since I deleted Facebook. I can't stress that enough, dude.
Well, yeah, you're not fucking.
It's an amazing feeling. I'm just throwing that out there.
You're not being hit with a sea of just bad information and
Yeah, and
terrible opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. A lot of people are upset on the old book, so deleting it was probably one of the best things I ever did.
A lot of, because I'm at that age, a lot of people are starting to have kids.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is like children's photos now and their 1-year-old or.
See, I was cool with Facebook for that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Like that's what I want to go to Facebook for, is to like catch up on my friends' lives.
Yeah.
I don't want to go on Facebook to have you blast your fucking political opinions and fucking destroy me for whatever opinion I may have because I don't agree with you. That makes me a fucking terrible person. And then blasting all this negative news all over the place as if I didn't read it fucking 15 minutes ago. And it's just like, that's all that it's consumed with. It's like you get on Facebook, you start scrolling, you're just sad after going through it.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
just upset, and it's just negative.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that. If I go through and I see like your new baby that you just had, like, that's going to make me happy. My homie just had a baby. That's awesome.
Sweet.
They're happy. I love that. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, we have a lot of late bloomers from my high school and everything growing up, and it was the same people that were, 2-3 years ago that was like, I would never have a kid, or I have all these bills, I get to travel and everything, but now these are the same people, which I'm happy for them, or that are like, I couldn't picture my day without a kid now. My kid is everything.
It's a game changer.
And it's like, I almost, if I was petty enough, I want to go through like their previous posts and be like, what about this day? And you said you'd rather have a vacation than kids.
That would be super petty.
It would be, yeah.
That would just be you going out of your way to just be like, told you so.
Yeah. Sometimes that's what. That's what it
Plus,
takes
to
to
scroll through 3 years of posts. God damn.
Goddamn, yeah. No,
you don't have anything going on?
I know. That'd be a job.
Yeah.
That'd be a job.
Yeah, that's dedicated time. But yeah.
Let's get to the Let's talk about. You've seen more, so I want you to take over. Let's talk more about the UFC fights. Just go to the highlights. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, the fights have been good, man. Like did you see the Tony and Gaethje fight?
Right. Yeah.
Did you see it?
I didn't see all of it. No.
Okay. That was Gaethje just looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Is really all I thought there. I think Tony just prepared for Khabib and wasn't ready for Gaethje, and Gaethje just came out and looked his absolute best, and toned down what he needed to tone down, and just kind of like he just seemed really focused as opposed to just like fucking going out there and throwing hammers, So, yeah, Gaethje looked fantastic.
Fantastic enough to see in the future he can beat Khabib.
I think it's going to be a competitive fight. I don't know who's going to win that fight yet. We'll wait until we get closer to it. It's not even announced yet,
Right.
So we'll see what happens up until that point. Who knows? And then the Anthony Smith and Glover Teixeira fight. That was the other big one that people were talking about, and everybody was talking about the stoppage and whatnot. And I was very much on the side of Anthony's the only person that can say if it should have been stopped or not.
Okay.
And he has said that, and he said that it shouldn't have been. He said he agreed with what his corner did, and that's like one thing that I've always preached is just like as far as like stoppages and whatnot goes, it always comes down to the corner fighter relationship.
Yeah.
You can't compare a corner and fighter to another corner and fighter. They don't. None of them are going to be equal to one another. Every single corner fighter relationship is going to be different from one another. So you can't take one and use it as a template for all.
Okay.
It's not. It doesn't work that way. Because you can look at. Take Duke Roufus, Anthony Pettis, for example. He breaks his hand, tells Duke Roufus is just like, I can't have you fighting like that. We're done.
Yeah.
Versus, Anthony Smith, who has broken orbital, he has teeth falling out and having a hard time keeping his hands up. Mark Montoya knows that Anthony Smith's the kind of guy that if you pull him out, he ain't going to forgive you for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just depends on the corner fighter relationship, And then you got like the Raquel Pennington, like that situation. So every what it boils down to is I always say after the fact, listen to what the fighter says and see what they have to say. You know, if they have some close friends and training partners that speak up after the fact and say otherwise, then you know maybe that discussion can be had. But for the most part, I think it pretty much comes down to the fighter and what they have to say.
Oh.
I think very, very, very rare, and this is the argument that most people make, very rare does it come down to someone needing to step in for the sake of someone else, you know? Like an unhealthy relationship type or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the situation there, you know? I don't think that's one of those.
I agree with a lot that you said. I don't have any opinion on it.
Did you watch the fight?
Mm-mm.
It was hard to watch, dude. And I've told people, too, from my ignorant perspective, and I cannot emphasize enough my ignorant perspective, that I would have stopped it in the third.
Yeah.
But I don't have that relationship with Anthony Pettis that Anthony Smith has, that Mark Montoya has, you know? And I don't know what their relationship looks like. Like, I briefly know both of them, but I couldn't even begin to comment on what their relationship's like.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, they're at a high level. They're at the highest level, actually.
Yeah.
Main event without being a champion. Main event UFC, and they've been through so much together.
Been through title fights together.
Yeah. So, I mean, only they know.
Yeah.
And, you know, Mark is a fantastic head coach. A lot of, you know, winners. And obviously, he knows what he's doing. He's at that point.
Yeah.
So, you know, you just gotta trust their judgment, and you know, Anthony Smith he's Lionheart for a reason.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. But yeah, man, pretty much it. I know we got Woodley and Gilbert Burns coming up. I think Gilbert Burns is gonna fuck Woodley up.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Gilbert Burns is a fucking murderer, bro. He is a fucking savage and a competitor.
It's still Woodley though.
I think Woodley's done.
We'll learn a lot this fight.
What advancements have we seen from Woodley?
Yeah, but it's people trying to figure him out. I know not everyone figures Woodley out. Usman's the only person.
What? What are you talking about?
This advanced Woodley. When's the last time? Usman's the last fight,
to
right?
Figure Woodley out. Woodley ain't much to figure out, bro.
But it's about stopping him when he get in the cage. It's the same thing. And this is the same kind of conversation that maybe that the media had when he was fighting Darren Till, and Darren Till was putting people away.
Yeah. He just couldn't stop him because Woodley was a better wrestler. Everybody knew that. You can look at paper and know that, though. That's no secret. And he couldn't stop him.
And Burns is better than him?
A better grappler? I would say so.
Okay.
I think he has a better finishing rate on the ground than Woodley does. For sure. Have you seen that guy's jiu-jitsu? His jiu-jitsu is fucking ridiculous, especially for MMA. He is a fucking savage. Don't sleep on Gilbert Burns, bro.
Yeah, but
you're sleeping hard on Gilbert Burns.
So you think he submits him? You think he submits him?
I think, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think he can.
I'm sure he can.
I think he finishes Woodley. I would go that far. I'd go to say he finishes Woodley. And if he's going to finish him, chances are it's going to be like a submission of sorts, I would imagine. Yeah.
But Woodley has that power, though, too.
What power? What are you talking about? The power that he's scared to fucking use? That power? Is that the one you're talking about? The power he hasn't used since Robbie Lawler? Oh, that power? Gotcha.
Okay.
Right on.
We gotta take
the one that he's been gun shy to use since he got that title? I know what you're talking about.
But he's not in the title anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes a big difference.
Fucking done now.
He might be hungrier.
Nah.
He might want to get back to that title.
Nah.
Get out of here.
Happening.
You're just counting him out.
I'm counting him out. Go back to your fucking rap videos. I'm done with you.
Ooh.
Yeah. Go back to fucking making records.
I gotta remember this
moment. I'm going to stick to the guy that's been doing jiu-jitsu tournaments in his off time. Fuck out of here with your record label.
Woodley's a black belt himself.
Go fuck yourself.
He's Gilbert a black belt
Burns
himself.
Is gonna murder him. And I'm not trying to shit on Woodley, but whenever you're putting him up to Gilbert Burns and you're like comparing the two, like Gilbert Burns is the guy that trains on his off days. He's the one that does competitions when he doesn't have a fight coming up. Like he doesn't fucking stop. Woodley's the guy that fucking is in the studio making rap albums whenever he's got a day off. There's different levels to it.
This is
different levels.
Disgusting. What's coming out of your mouth right now?
What?
I gotta look at Gilbert Burns wins.
Oh, dude. That's what I'm saying.
I gotta look at his
You're
wins.
sleeping on Gilbert Burns. That's the thing. You're sleeping on him.
But to say he's gonna beat Woodley, soundly and finish Woodley,
I'm gonna bet on it.
I gotta see. I apologize, folks. He's a badass jiu-jitsu player. I gotta see his victories, man.
Gilbert Burns is a killer. You need to watch his fights, dude. He's good. His jiu-jitsu's fucking fantastic.
Oh, he knocked out Damian Maia?
Yeah.
Gunnar Nelson.
He's a fucking gangster, bro.
I mean, there's not a lot on his resume, though, to say that.
He's dark horse, dude. Watch him. I'm telling you.
Oh, and he's been knocked out before.
You're sleeping on him.
Woodley has that power, man. And he can cancel out. His wrestling can cancel out that jiu-jitsu.
All right.
Perfect. I'm so excited.
You want to bet on it? We're
going to have to bet on it.
What do you want to
now.
bet? Let's bet on it right now. They already announced the fight. It's happening.
I know.
What do you want to bet? I'll bet whatever you want.
Next episode, we'll come up with the...
Dude, I will bet whatever you want.
This is exciting.
Anything.
I can't believe it. And
look up the odds. What do you think the odds are?
Woodley's a former champion.
I bet you Burns is the favorite.
I mean, this is like...
Check Bovado. Bovado's going to be Vegas odds.
Woodley's the favorite.
By how much?
156? I don't know if I can read that number.
Yeah, that's not Bovado.
This is exciting. Folks, you guys understand. Woodley beat Damian Maia. Or I mean, they both beat Damian Maia. But that's the biggest name. We don't know how he faces. Woodley's still top 5.
They might not have it yet.
Woodley's still top 5.
Yeah, it's a pick 'em.
And just to count him out.
Yeah, it's a pick 'em.
And to say that he gets finished. What round does he get finished in?
I don't know, dude. Here's the thing. You saw him against fucking...
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
I can't wait. All right. I'm hyped for the fight now, yeah.
I don't understand why you think Woodley's...
Because of his power, his resume.
Yeah. Okay.
And to say he gets finished. When's the last time we've seen him? He hasn't been finished since Strikeforce.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Dan Hooker knocked out Gilbert Burns.
I think it can happen. Yeah, Dan Hooker's fucking got knockout power. Well, yeah, that's true. That's 170, 150. Yeah.
What does Woodley have?
You'll see, bro. Yeah, a fucking knockout power that he's scared.
And I respect and admire Burns' jiu-jitsu resume, and he's been doing it.
Bro, you don't know who Burns is. You're talking about a guy you've never seen fight, though.
But I'm saying, to think he's just going to take down Woodley.
All right.
And do this jiu-jitsu game.
Watch him fight and then talk to me.
Okay.
Watch him fight first and then
that's the one. As soon as I get home, that's the first thing I'm going to do.
I appreciate that.
I'm happy.
We'll leave it on that.
Gilbert
Burns beating Tyron Woodley.
Finishing Tyron Woodley.
He's going to beat him. Finish him, whatever. Regardless, he's going to beat him. I think he has the potential to finish him.
Okay.
I can't say for 100% that he'll finish him, but he definitely has the potential to. And if he does, I imagine it would be by submission.
Okay. Oh, cool. I'm happy we got that out of the system. I can't wait to the next episode. See what we're betting on it. No, it won't be anything too crazy. We're all recovering.
Oh, it will. It will.
It
will. It will. I'm pretty confident in this one. Matter of fact, now that I know that it's like a pick 'em, and I'm probably gonna bet on it now before it gets too close.
Nice. I got something, and I'm not trying to get far away from it. When you bet, if you and I bet right now,
yeah,
and you say I bet that he finishes him, and he doesn't finish him, do you still win the bet? If he said Burns still wins, but our bet is that he gets finished.
Well, yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I made a bet months ago for the last Pacquiao fight.
Uh-huh.
And the guy was like, "Oh, Pacquiao gets knocked out and everything." And I was like, no, he's not going to get knocked out, but he'll win the fight. And then, like, the guy was like, and Pacquiao obviously didn't get knocked out.
Right.
And he's like, well, I won.
You're like, no, you didn't.
I was like, no, you didn't. He's like, oh, man. And he got kind of like, you're not going to honor your bet?
Yeah.
And I was like, the bet was if Pacquiao got knocked out, he didn't get knocked out.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but he still won. And I was just like, okay, man.
As dude didn't know what he said. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I have Gilbert Burns winning, though.
Well, I have Woodley now winning.
Okay. Oh, you didn't before?
Well, I mean, I didn't do my research, but it's important to me now that Woodley wins.
All right.
No matter what I see in the next few fights I watch of Burns, Woodley's gonna win.
All right, man.
Well, you heard it first. What else?
That's it. We're wrapping up, dog. I gotta go. I got some things I gotta do.
Yeah, definitely, man. Please, thank you for watching. I'm happy.
Good to be back. Yeah.
Good to be back.
We'll be back next week. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right. Love, peace, chicken grease.
All right, bye.